Hey guys, what is up? Big Red Reviews here, back again with another video, and this is my fourth time filming this video because two of the times I forgot to press record, one of the times I had to go to the bathroom, and then I accidentally closed my audio app, and then the fourth time I stuttered really hard and I was embarrassed, so I wanted to restart. Anyways, here we are. This is going to be my top 6 movie scenes of all time. Movie scenes. What defines a favorite movie scene? What makes it a good movie scene? And that all comes down to you. For me, these are the scenes that give me goosebumps, that make me realize what I love about cinema, but mainly just makes me love film. And most of these scenes I saw in theaters, and the theater experience helps these scenes a lot, I'd say, because what I like about film, it's like music. It can bring people. It's gonna sound really cliche, but it can bring people together. Like when I go to see Endgame for 2.5 hours, like, you're not worried about the outside world, right? You're in there watching this movie, and there's an Endgame scene on here. It's my number 5, but you're watching this movie. You don't care about outside stuff. You don't care about taxes or school or work. You're all just there to enjoy the same thing, and it's just a great experience. And these scenes made me cheer, made me cry, made me have goosebumps. And yeah, let's get into it. It's a top 6 because my number 6 I could not place in my top 5. I didn't know where it would go above. I didn't know if it was better than some scenes or not, but I didn't want to make it an honorable mention, so I made it top 6. It is the leap of faith scene from the best Spider-Man movie in the world. Jaron, if you're watching this, you know what I'm talking about. Into the Spider-Verse. This is the best Spider-Man movie of all time. Yes, you Raimi lovers, it beats out Spider-Man 1 and 2. I know 2's number 2. Don't worry, Spider-Man 2 is number 2. But this is the scene where Miles, and there's gonna be spoilers for these movies, by the way, but most of these movies y'all have probably seen. But if you haven't seen Into the Spider-Verse, please, for the love of God, listen to Joey and go watch it. It's on Netflix. Please, God. There we go. This is the scene where, Miles, all the spider people have told him, like, hey, you're probably not ready for this. Just stay here. And he goes to Aunt May, and Aunt May's like, took you long enough. And he goes and makes his own suit. And this is where he jumps off the building, and What's Up Danger's playing in the background. And he finally just takes the leap of faith that Peter B. Parker told him to take. And he finally takes it. And what's great is in the scene, he's falling, right? He's falling. He looks like he's falling down. But in the script, it says Miles isn't falling, he's rising. That is some of the best descriptions of a scene I've ever seen, and no one would really know that unless either A, I told you, or B, you're like me and you go on Twitter and you look up cheesy behind the scenes stuff from pages that have like 200 followers. It's cool. Yeah, this scene's great. Everything's about the scene's great. Please go watch that movie. It's such a great scene. I mean, I love Miles Morales as a character, and it's just cool seeing him grow. I can't wait for the new movies, and this scene was one that he really became Spider-Man in. My number 5 scene is the portal scene from Endgame. Yes, I know, Marvel makes mid-movies. I understand that, but damn it, Endgame is really fucking good. And this scene, everyone in the theater was cheering.
On your left.
There's a reason I saw this movie. Fucking 7 of those tickets up there is Endgame. And there's a reason for that. I mean, I was cheering. This is 11 years worth of build-up. And like I tell people, when I rank my top 5 movies of all time, I never really put Endgame on there because Endgame is more of like a celebration and an experience than it is a movie. Like, Endgame's a great movie on its own, but it would not be as insane as it is without the 10 or 11 years of build-up. I mean, Iron Man 1 came out in 2008. Now we're getting all these payoffs that have been building up since 2008, and it's 2019 when this movie dropped. You're seeing all the Avengers come through. Steve's on his last leg. He's going to die because he's a badass, and he'll fight to the death. And all these Avengers come back from being brought back from Hulk snap, and they just all kick ass. You see all these little character moments that you can only dream of, that you think would only be in comics. Such a great scene. The music in this scene is great. The hype, Cap saying Avengers Assemble, the one take, Chadwick Boseman's last performance as Black Panther. I mean, holy shit. I mean, obviously, if there's one scene you've seen on this movie, it's this one. I mean, that movie made damn what, like $2 billion? Yeah. Number 4. So when I made this list about 30 minutes ago, it's 3:51 a.m. by the way, but I'm glad I'm getting into YouTube again, so I wanted to film. When I made this list, my number 4, it was always a Star Wars scene. It was actually I Am Your Father. And when I was actually filming this video, my 4th time before this is my 5th time, I started thinking about other scenes, and I was like, should I put Obi-Wan Kenobi versus Anakin fight? I mean, that's such a good fucking scene. But overall, I think really I think this only developed over the past year, that my favorite scene from Star Wars is Luke talking to Vader at the end of Episode 6. I recently just watched Episode 6 again because I haven't in a while, and I just, oh man, like, the Ewoks are kitty, but like the final part of that movie where it's just the Emperor talking with Vader and Luke, and Vader's just this guy that, like, you know, he's been gone for years, and Luke's this kid who's like, no, like, I see good in you. And he finally, they defeat Emperor Palpatine, and that's where Palpatine dies, right? There's no like sequel or anything where he comes back and like as like a clone or something and then dies to his own Force lightning again. There's no sequels like that, right? Anyways, off topic. That's where this beautiful scene where, and it's such an underrated scene. Like, I know it's talked about, but like when you think of Star Wars, like not a lot of people talk about this scene as they should. It's where Luke, and it's when every word that comes out of Anakin's mouth here, I'm calling him Anakin because he's not Vader at this point. Every word that comes out of Anakin's mouth here is just amazing and gut-wrenching, and you can just tell after, 20-something years as Vader, he's just tired, and he feels so bad, but he's so glad his son saved him. And he says, take this mask off, I want to look at you with my own eyes. You just see him scarred and everything, but Luke doesn't care that he's scarred. He just says, I have to save you, and he's like, you already have. That is probably one of my favorite lines in all of Star Wars, is you already have. It's just such a hard, like, gut-wrenching, especially after the prequels and all the pain you see Anakin go through physically and mentally because of Palpatine and all his actions. Finally seeing him pay off and kill Palpatine, and finally seeing his son and letting his son know that, yes, son, you were right, you avenged me, and then he's like, tell your sister you were right about me, and then he dies. That is such a good fucking scene. That's one of my favorite scenes. It's just such a great way to end the trilogy. It's such a great way to end Darth Vader / Anakin as a character. Finally, he redeems himself. Hey guys, Editor Joey here. I hope you're enjoying the video so far. I forgot to mention during this that I'm going to be showing a little bit of this scene. I don't know why I didn't say that, but I didn't want to just cut right there. The little transitional moment here would be nice for us. But yeah, here's this amazing scene.
I've got to save you.
You already have. Look, you were right. You were right about me.
My number 3 scene, this might take people by surprise because as much as this is a movie channel, I don't talk about this franchise a lot, and that is Harry Potter. And I do love Harry Potter. I have wands, I have pop figures, I love Harry. I have the books right here, the 4 illustrated books, and I have my other books in my room. I love Harry Potter. Harry Potter, Star Wars, Marvel, top 3 franchises for me. And I felt like I wanted a scene from, I was just thinking of scenes, and I'm like, damn, like, what's a really good fucking scene that I've seen with friends that I can discuss for years to come? And that is Snape's memories. And that is arguably one of the best scenes in the whole franchise. And it just builds up to 8 movies worth of Snape being an asshole. And then the final, and I know that can be a whole nother debate. Me and my friend Katie talk about, because Katie hates Snape, and I love Snape, even though Snape can't, like, he was, rude to a kid for no reason. But, Snape arguably lost the most out of everyone in the Harry Potter franchise. He basically devoted his life to being this spy to help Dumbledore take down Voldemort. He lost the love of his life, who married her bully. And this is the scene where he finally just, sees Harry as an adult, and this is one of the only changes from the movies did from the book. I think in the book he just dies, or I forgot, it's like a random final line. In the movie he says, "You have your mother's eyes." That's his final line, and that kind of teases. They're like, why would? I remember, like, when I first saw it, I saw Deathly Hallows when it came out in theaters, but I didn't see any of the other movies. I had no idea what was going on. I literally just went because it was like everything. I felt like I wanted to be there. And I remember he saw that, and everyone just started gasping. So I didn't really grasp it. So then years later, when I finally read the books, I was like, 13 or 14, and I could finally grasp it a little bit more than when I was 11. And I watched the movies, and I was like, why would he say that? Like, why is he talking about his mom? And then you get this beautiful, it's like a 6-minute, and when Harry puts the memories in the pensieve and he goes in, it's this beautiful 6-minute, and it just, a montage finding out that Snape knew all along that Dumbledore was dying. Dumbledore told Snape he has to be the one to kill him. You find out that Snape sent the Patronus, which is the same one as Lily. You see him go to Godric's Hollow that night that Lily died, and he's holding Lily in his hands. You find out that he loved her the whole time, and that Dumbledore's realization of that, and he's like, after all this time, and he says always. I mean, that's like the most iconic fucking quote from the movie, and I just get goosebumps thinking about it, and just Harry's face of realization after that, and that he was wrong all along, and that Snape was just the bravest man he ever knew. I mean, hell, he named his fucking son after Severus. It was like, Albus Severus, like, blah, 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 Potter, you know. But that scene is just incredible. I mean, caps off Harry Potter so well. Really shows the tragedy of Snape, and it makes you, when you restart the series, just, you know, look at Snape in a different way. And it's cool because you can look at Snape in a different way. It's not one of those things where the actor didn't even know. J.K. Rowling told Alan Rickman before they started filming the first movie. This is all the way back when she's writing like the third book of the series. This is when the first movie was coming out. She knew everything about Snape, and she said this is the only person she told was Alan Rickman. She's like, you know, she tells everything about Snape loving Lily, and so that can maybe like give him a little nuance in his or a little, like, you know, low-key things in his acting. So it's cool to go back and watch that. Like, it's just amazing, man. All right, these next two are those last four are really good scenes, but these two are like the ones I won't shut the fuck up about ever. And my number two came out this year, and you could probably guess, is Everything Everywhere All at Once. If you watched my review of the movie, I kind of talked about it a bit when I was talking about my favorite scenes, but I wanted to save it for this episode, or this video. It is the All Evelyn's All at Once scene, where this is towards the end, where it's the mom. I'm just going to show a little clip here. It's the scene where you just see the montage of all of them. I remember going in the theater to see this movie with my friends, and, you know, we're busting out laughing the whole movie because, like I said in the review, the movie's funny as hell. This is the scene. This is before the rock scene, so everyone was still pretty loud laughing. This is the scene where everyone shut up. I remember everyone in the theater shut up, and it just kept going. It's like a 50-second scene where it's just the editing, the sound design, all the different Evelyns you see. The care put in this movie just makes me love film. I'm not going to talk about that as much because I talked about it in the review about why I love the movie. But I remember my mouth dropping. I was like this. And I remember halfway through the scene, I realized my mouth was dropped. I was like, is my mouth open right now? I was thinking, I didn't go like, I kept it open. I was like, this scene fucking deserves my undivided attention and awe, because I just don't know why it just resonated with me so much. It just grasped the audience. All of us shut up. It made everyone just really locked into the movie. Like, when you go to the movies, you're locked in, but like, you were really locked into the movie. Like, just seeing the culmination of all these Evelyns coming together, the music, the little sound design, the glimpses of the daughter and the dad, and just everything going haywire. It's just great. Oh man, please go watch that movie. I have it on Blu-ray. I'll let you borrow it. I have it on 4K and Blu-ray. Please go watch that scene. Hey guys, Editor Joey back, and this is the last time you're going to hear from me, I swear. But I was going to do an honorable mention on this list, but as I was editing, I thought of a scene that I really love talking about and showing people from my childhood, and that it's really underappreciated. It's from the live-action Speed Racer movie, and it is when he puts it in fifth gear and just guns it in the final race. So I just want to put this as an honorable mention. Here's a little clip. Even if you don't watch the movie, just watch that scene. My number one scene, if you're a friend of mine, I don't know if you would guess this scene, because I post about it a lot, but I don't think you would guess it's my favorite. And it is from my number one movie of all time, which is Back to the Future, and it is the clock tower scene. This is like a almost 6 minute scene. So I know it's like the definition of scene can be different. It'd be like a couple minutes or a couple seconds. This is a longer scene, I know. I decided about a year ago that when I was thinking about like, what's my real like top 5 movies, this movie's number one, Back to the Future. Just everything this movie does is amazing. The script is one of the best scripts I've ever read. And this whole clock tower scene is just cinema perfected. The CGI still holds up. The acting is incredible. Just the suspense build up. You know, you have Marty going in the DeLorean to the line, waiting for the timer to go off. You have Doc up in the clock tower. The cords are unplugging. He's trying to wrap the cord around the thing and swing down and get it off the tree in time. The music makes this scene. I'm going to play the scene right here that I think of every time I think of this scene. Go. Yeah, that scene gives me goosebumps. That scene makes me cheer. Every time I watch that movie, I'm like, is Marty going to make it? Even though it's like watching episode 3 of Star Wars, where you're like, is Anakin, please don't turn to the dark side, when you know at the end he's going to turn. It's like that. And just the way it's shot, it builds suspense so good to where I can watch the movie 100 times. I'm still going to be a little bit anxious watching it because I'm like, fuck, is he gonna make this? Because you only have one shot with the lightning bolt, and just the way it's edited, the zoom ins on and the zoom outs from the speedometer to like him speeding when it hits 88, the fire goes off. Michael J. Fox's acting, and then Christopher Lloyd's like comedic acting where he just starts screaming when stuff gets unplugged. It's just incredible. And then Doc's just, when he finally goes through, Doc's just final cheer, like, we did it, like, and it was just cool seeing him that a invention of his actually works, and just him cheering. And of course that leads into Back to the Future 2 and 3. But this scene was so well done. If you haven't seen Back to the Future somehow, I keep asking you guys to watch movies, but this movie is just so well done. Even if you just watch the first one, I believe this is one of the best trilogies of all time, so I do hope you would watch all three. But the first one is just so good. The script's so good. The comedy's so good. And there's not much to say about Back to the Future that hasn't been said since it came out in 1985. But thank you guys so much for watching. I know this is like a shorter video. I just wanted to talk about some scenes I like. Let me know what some of your scenes, your favorite scenes in cinema are. I want to see if you agree with some of mine or you have some other picks that maybe I didn't talk about. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you all. Peace out.